You felt the sting of doing everything right, only to watch success slip through your fingers at the last moment. You set goals, craft plans, summon motivation, and then a hidden force drags you back into the swamp of indecision and self-doubt. Tonight, we turn to the wisdom of Jung to understand why we become our own worst enemies, and how to break free from the sabotage we unwittingly orchestrate. Carl Jung taught that our psyche is divided into conscious awareness and the shadow, those unacknowledged parts of ourselves we hide away. In that shadow lie urges and patterns we despise: procrastination, self-criticism, perfectionism. When these shadow impulses aren't recognized, they act out beneath the surface, turning every ambition into a trap. Imagine you're planting a garden. You sow seeds of intention, ideas you nurture with care. But if you leave behind weeds, resentments, fears, limiting beliefs, those contaminants spread underground, choking the sprouts before they break soil. Sabotage is that weed's work, invisible at first, then suddenly overwhelming. It's not malicious fate, it's the shadow claiming space when we avoid our darker impulses. First, let's name the symptoms of sabotage. You know them well. The delay loop. You swear, tomorrow will be different, but tomorrow arrives with the same excuses woven into your mind. The over-polish. You tweak every detail until you've left nothing, not a single stroke, unfinished. The silent retreat. Just as you near a breakthrough, you withdraw, silent, unspeaking, convinced that isolation protects you from failure. The inner critic chorus. A cacophony of "you're not good enough" drowns out your resolve until you capitulate to that doubt. These are not random glitches. They are the shadow strategy to keep you safe within familiar limits. When you pursue growth, the shadow perceives threat. It reacts by reasserting the patterns it knows best. How do we bring that shadow into the light? Jung pointed to conscious confrontation. Instead of suppressing the sabotage, we acknowledge and dialogue with it. Here's how to apply that tonight. Identify your shadow agent. Quiet your mind and recall your most recent moment of self-sabotage. Did you delay an important email? Cancel a planned meetup? Delete a draft before finishing it? Whisper to yourself, "I see you, shadow impulse." Name it, "I recognize my fear of rejection," or "I acknowledge my need for perfection." Speaking the shadow by name strips it of its camouflage. Offer it a role. The shadow only acts out because it craves expression. Give it a constructive outlet. If your shadow voice says, "You'll embarrass yourself," revoice it as, "I'm protecting you from humiliation, but I'll let you guide me to thorough preparation." Write down both versions. Then promise your shadow, "I will prepare, but I will still act." This ritual honors the shadow's concern while refusing its demand to halt your progress. Integrate through small action. Immediately follow that dialogue with a micro-step toward your goal. Write a single sentence, send one draft, call one person. That step demonstrates you can listen to the shadow's warning without letting it dictate your path. Each micro-action weaves the shadow into your conscious workflow, reducing its power to derail you. Reflect and record. After that action, journal for 5 minutes. Note how the shadow reacted. Did its voice soften? Did it fall silent or shift its tune? Record the shift. "My fear paused when I acted. It ducked behind a new concern." This reflection trains your mind to spot sabotage early, before it gains momentum. Over nights and weeks, this practice rewires the dynamic in your psyche. The shadow no longer lurks unseen. It becomes a collaborator you've learned to negotiate with. You'll still feel its tug, but you'll also have the tools to respond, honoring its voice without surrendering your goals. Jung also emphasized the power of symbolic expression: art, dreams, active imagination. If words alone feel flat, pick up a charcoal stick or your phone's voice recorder. Sketch the shadow's form, an abstract shape, a dark silhouette, or speak into the recorder as if it were the shadow's mouth. Then reinterpret that symbol into something less menacing, softening jagged edges, shifting hues. This creative alchemy transforms the raw shadow into integrated energy you can channel toward creation rather than destruction. Lastly, remember that shadow integration is ongoing. New layers of sabotage emerge as you grow. After your next success, you might suddenly feel unworthy of continued progress. Apply the same process. Name the new sabotage, negotiate its role, take one small step, and reflect. Over time, your relationship with your inner saboteur evolves from battle to balance. When you awake tomorrow, tune into the first stirrings of doubt or delay. Catch that impulse in real time, greet it with the phrase, "Yes, I see you," then choose to proceed. With each conscious confrontation, you reclaim territory in your own mind, building a fortress of self-trust rather than a prison of perpetual hesitation.